Hi guys! We all know social media is great for growing your business, but it does take a lot of time. So today I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can be a little bit more savvy and regain some of that time. So the first tip is choosing the right platform. Now, ideally you have a fantastic digital strategy and you know where social media fits into your overall marketing plan. That's the first place to start. Failing that, at least think about where your target market is hanging out online and where is the appropriate place for you to be interacting with them. So for example, if your target market is an older demographic, you might be more likely to find them on Facebook. If they're younger, they might be more likely to be found on Snapchat or Instagram. And if they have a particular profession that you're trying to single out, perhaps the easiest way to find those people is via LinkedIn. So first, just choosing the right place to be is a great place to start. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be on the other platforms and sharing your content there, but in order to build a successful following, you're going to need to hone in and focus and understand the etiquette. So choosing the right place to be is the best way to save time. The next thing is about setting boundaries with your time. So I've seen a lot of people working by being on social media, and I've done this myself. It's easy to convince yourself that you're doing something productive by hanging out on social media. Now, we all know that sometimes that's true. There's great things that we could be doing, but there's probably some better uses of your time. So setting a boundary. And I personally like to set aside an hour, either at the start of the day or the end of the day, just for going over my social media. So this could be developing a system where you post, check in on the comments that you've received and respond to those, engage with your audience, etc., etc. So whatever works for you with the system that you develop at the time of the day that you develop it, but to save time, put a block around it so that you're not constantly going back into social media and interrupting your workflow throughout the day. The third tip is to create evergreen content. Now, evergreen content is content that is not time dependent. So for example, a Christmas special is not evergreen content. An informative video like this one is evergreen content. It can be used again and again, regardless of the time of year. So by creating evergreen content, you're giving yourself the ability to repeat the use of the content so that you can use the same content again and again and again. So this video might go out today, it might go out in 3 months' time when my audience is larger, and it might go out a year from now. It's still going to be relevant and helpful to people, and it's not going to age like some other content would. The fourth tip is about user-generated content. User-generated content is content that is created by someone other than you and shared with direct consent. So the most common way we see this is with featured posts, where a community member will share their content and use a particular hashtag or tag to let the owner of the account know that they're happy to be featured and for that content to be shared. I'll do another post about Creative Commons licenses and the legalities around sharing other people's content, but I just wanted to introduce you to the concept of user-generated content so that you can start to think of some creative ways that you might be able to use that in your business. The final tip is about repurposing content, and there's 2 ways that you can do this. The first is by changing the medium itself. So I currently am making this video in a video context, obviously, but it could then be taken and the audio could be stripped back to create a podcast. The same thing is true, we could take screenshots of this if it was a video that was perhaps a cooking demonstration to create still images, or I can have the text transcribed and it can be turned into a written text blog. So by starting with the medium that has the most information, we can derive all these other forms of content from it. So that's a fantastic thing if you're a solopreneur. If you start with the video, you can then generate all the other different types of content from that. As well as the medium, we can also talk about repurposing the same modality in different platforms. So for example, I'm currently filming this in landscape, but I know that it is also going to go on IGTV, which is vertical. So I've left enough space around me so that I can easily crop it and still be in the center of the frame, and upload it to a totally different platform. So I don't have to remake content, I can share it, and I can even take snippets of this to be used either in my Instagram stories or my Instagram feed, or share them on Facebook, etc., etc. So it's about being versatile, and this isn't just true with videos. I also see this a lot with images, that people don't have a larger version with lots of space around the subject, and it can be difficult for creating banners of different various sizes when you don't have any room to move, and you have to constantly be creative about how you're going to how you're going to use that extra space. So when you're creating content, just making sure that you have ample room around you, whether that's a photo or a video, so that it can be more versatile and used in a variety of different contexts. So hopefully that's helped you think about some ways that you can save time with your social media. Just to recap, be in the right place, set boundaries around the time that you're going to spend there, create evergreen content, consider doing user-generated content, and make sure that you're creating content that is versatile to be used either in a range of different modalities or on a range of different platforms. Hope that helps.